One question that I often get is why invest in precious metals, gold, silver, and base metals, especially copper? Why not just invest in Forex? Why not just invest in shares? Well, depends on what you're thinking, but having traded shares, Forex, indices, and all that, I think that the gains in precious metals and also base metals are easier to catch, and they tend to move in very, very straight trends for quite a long time. So this allows us to trade a little bit easier than Forex, which is always subject to a lot of whipsaws. The Forex pair goes up. Gives you profit and then suddenly turns around and your profit becomes a loss. Well, for precious metals and also for base metals, yeah, it happens sometimes, but most of the time it goes in a straight line. So, frankly, there are better opportunities here in precious metals and also in base metals, especially since the Bloomberg Commodity Index has already probably bottomed out. You can see the chart here it is. Here's bottoming out. Yes, it's been under correction, but the fact is it's probably heading up. And there are a lot of event risks that's going to happen in the next few months or so, and this could be very advantageous for precious metals. For example, U.S. elections victory caused gold to go up before it turned around. There are a lot of European elections, the French election in 2017. There's also a lot of battles between central banks to reduce the exchange rate, and this should post a very interesting year for precious metals and also base metals. Now, the recent victory of President Donald Trump in the U.S. actually augurs very well for precious metals and base metals because, after Trump was declared victorious, he basically said that he's going to build U.S. infrastructure in his winning speech. So this means that the usage of copper is going to increase rather dramatically. So you can see here basically the movement of copper breaking out of this downtrend channel and breaking out very, very violently and very high. So basically because of this emphasis on infrastructure with US 1 trillion in projects in the next few years under his leadership, there is a certain demand, a rise in demand, or rather a drastic rise in demand for copper, and this caused copper to break out. And I think this trend is really can be maintained. Of course, there'll be short and probably sharp corrections along the way, but it looks like this will be definitely a golden age of copper again. And the way to trade copper was we saw that in the eToro account. You can just press copper, or you can go and get the copper CFD in the Saxo account, which I showed you, or even just buy the stock Freeport McMoran, ticker symbol is FCX. So there are many ways to play copper, not necessarily just buying copper alone, but you can also go through the shares, for example, FCX. Now, on further analysis of why these precious metals and base metals are going to improve under President Trump is simple, because his mission is pro-growth business and regulation-friendly administration. He's going to boost the economy through tax cuts and massive infrastructure spending. You can see the market reaction so far. A stronger dollar with expectations haven't been reset, and this led to a rotation out of bonds into equities. So also rotation toward old industries such as financials, healthcare, miners, industrials, and materials. Because Trump is always about the people who brought him to power are the ones in the Midwest America. These are normal working people. So this shift towards something high tech into something more old economy, old industry, is something that augurs well for the U.S. economy, actually. So the risk for the world is basically the U.S. might go into the path of protectionism. Of course, having all these infrastructure projects will result in a lot of money being spent in the U.S., leading to inflation, and of course the need to raise interest rates. So this is the story of the stronger dollar and the rising costs of financing. Okay, and it's very bad for emerging market assets such as Malaysia. There's also going to be a lot of trade barriers and much stronger dollar posing growth problems for both the US and also globally. And also there are a lot of US companies that operate outside of the US. So if their revenues in dollar terms is less because the dollar is going up, then this obviously is not good. Now I got this from the webinar from Saxo Bank through their site tradingfloor.com, which we're going to see. And there's a lot of useful material here with all the analysis done for you. So I hope you're able to use this to your advantage. So this is the report on November 22nd. Basically, commodities are now in bullish mode. They're entering a cyclical, stronger environment. And Goldman Sachs, okay, which is the largest commodities player, basically raises iron ore forecast. They also cut gold price estimates. So again, iron ore and also copper are the base metals to go. So we look at what Goldman says. So it says that investors should bet on higher commodities prices in the next year as manufacturing picks up around the world. And why is this so? Because they have an index called the Purchasing Managers Index. Basically, if the purchasing managers are buying things, which they are here, because you can see at the right hand corner of the chart here, the trend is going up. That means there is an increased demand for commodities such as iron ore, copper, and other base metals. So they're not very bullish on gold, precious metals such as gold and silver, but they're bullish on base metals. So this is good. This is why you should be investing in metals, both precious metals and also base metals. So it's going to be hard to go over all the factors that are going to determine the prices of silver and also prices of copper and prices of gold. So I'm just going to use gold as an example here, okay, of how we do about this investing in precious metals. You can apply this also to base metals such as copper, because you can buy the CFD, the certificate for difference for copper, and also you can buy silver in the same platform that you do your gold trading. So the first topic that I'd like to touch is basically there is a big difference, okay? There is a very big difference between buying gold jewelry and investing in gold, and I think that people really do not understand this. So here's how it goes, Basically, when you're buying gold jewelry, it really doesn't matter. You can bargain when you're buying gold jewelry. If you like the jewelry, then buy it. Of course, it's expensive when gold goes up, but you're also buying quality craftsmanship and an asset which appreciate. And it doesn't lose much value because over the long term, gold tends to appreciate. Over the long term means a very long term. Okay, I'm talking about 10, 20 years here. Okay, but say you want to invest in gold, and by investing I assume that your intention is buying low and selling high. So if you want the value of the investable asset to go up or down, it can even go down, okay? If you short sell, you sell high and buy low so you can profit, then you must really look at the spread. Why do you want to pay extra when investing in gold? The problem is the spread, which is the quote between the buy and sell, is about 4% to 8% on the people that sell gold to you, especially here in Malaysia. So if gold moves at an average of 7% a year, how are you going to make money? You buy gold at, say, 1,000, and if you want to sell it, you buy gold at 1,070, and you want to sell it, you sell it at 1,000. How are you going to make money? Because gold is only going to move like 7% a year, but you've already paid 7% up front, my friend. You already paid it up front in order to buy this gold. So this is not a good way to do it. On the other hand, when you saw my screen just now on the screens on eToro and also Saxo, you can see how cheap these spreads are, and I only pay additional US $10 on Saxo. So this is how you trade gold. If you want to trade gold, precious metals, gold, silver, and also base metals such as copper, make sure you are on the right platform so that the spreads are very, very low. So the idea is simple. You need to control gold and not own gold. Now, a lot of people think that in order to invest in gold, they need to own gold. They need to have a gold bullion, and then they need to store it somewhere. Hello, that's a lot of cost, okay? Now, why can't you invest in an asset that is backed by gold, that is backed by real physical gold? And that's what we are advocating here. So you have control over the physical gold, because the asset that you're investing in is backed by low gold, by actual gold bullion. You also pay low spreads, and you do not need to buy dangerous futures, Forex, options, and all that. In fact, this gold that you have, you don't even have to store it. So you don't have to pay the storage cost. So this control of gold without actually owning the physical gold, the control of physical gold can actually be done to an exchange traded fund ETF. So before we go into the details of the sites, which we want to go to find out where to buy or sell gold. Let's see the bid spread asked for gold across many quotations. This is in Malaysia. So you see for public bank, the buy and spread difference here. Price you sell at 171.07, price you buy at 178.54. So if you buy gold at 178.54 ringgit, if you want to sell it immediately, guess what? You're going to be down by 7.47 ringgit because you have to sell it at 171.07. And guess what? This is a spread of minus 4.8%. So the immediate moment that you buy gold from Maybank, you're down by 4.18%. Now, the spread on public bank is much better because you buy at 179.09, you sell at 172.17. That's only 3.85%. However, on public gold, look at that spread. It's about 8%, 7.99%. Guys and gals, if you are buying gold and you're paying 8%, guess where the commission goes? It doesn't go into your pocket to help you make money, okay? It goes to the agent that sells it to you. So how in the world are you going to make money when you're already down by 7.99% or almost 8%? You got to wait a very long time, which is never a good idea. So next, we're going to see a website's video here where I'm going to show you the source of all these metals charts, where you can get news on precious metals and also base metals, finding key levels to trade, to invest for precious and base metals. And where you saw the other video there, okay, trading precious metals on eToro and Saxo Bank, which I showed you earlier. So let's go to the